Hi everyone, this is Mr. Cheng, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at conditionals, and we'll be looking at if and else in Lua. So previously we learned about if, then, and end. And if the condition is true, then the code between the then and the end would be executed. Now, relational operators are as follows. Again, we have the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Testing for equality is equal, and not equal is the tilde and equal sign put together. Now we can also execute statements if the condition is false. And to do that, Lua has another conditional structure called the if, then, else, end. So again, if the condition, let's say, is going to be false, then we're going to go to the else part over there. Now, again, previously, if the condition was false, the script would just simply continue executing code if there were any afterwards. But this time we're going to be adding some code for the else. Now, let's go ahead and go into Roblox Studio. And again, we're going to add a script here, like so. And let's go ahead and create our Boolean variable again. So we've got local humanoid equal false this time around. So we've got local, let's add example 1 over here, and we've got local humanoid equal false. And if the humanoid value is false, we're going to print not very human. All right, so let's go ahead and add that to our code here. So we've got if humanoid, then, and we've got print only human, and then we've got else print not very human. So let's give this code a try here. And let's add our example 1 like so. All right, so when we run our code over here, we have the output, which is, again, example 1, we've got not very human because inside of our script over here, we have our humanoid equal false. All right, let's try another example. So let's try a different Boolean variable, and we're going to now say is cold. So Boolean variables are also sometimes just prefixed with the prefix of is. So we'll assign the variable is cold to false. So let's go back into Studio, and again, I'm going to comment out this code over here. And I'm going to comment here of example 2. We're going to print example 2, and I'm going to create this different Boolean variable. This time I'm going to call it is cold instead of humanoid. And the next thing we're going to do is if it's cold, we're going to print it's cold today, else we'll print out it's not cold today. So let's go ahead and type if is cold then, and we'll print it's cold today, else prints it's not cold today. Okay. Kind of depends on where in the world you happen to be. All right, so let's try that out here. And again, because we have it, our Boolean variable is false, it says it's not cold today. All right, let's try another example here. So from a previous lesson, we looked at the modulus operator. So the modulus operator can also help us determine if a number is odd or even via conditional. So let's try that out here. Now let's generate a random number from 1 to 100. Let's go back into Studio here, and I'm going to comment out this code. And again, I'm going to add some code here. So I've got example 3, and I've got print example 3, and let's create a random number here. So I've got local num equal math.random. And again, we'll pick a number from 1 to 100. And again, determine if a number is odd or even. We're going to use the pattern that we learned about in the previous lesson. We're going to say if num, and we have the modulus operator 2. So it's like if number divided by 2 and the remainder is going to be 0, then we know the number is going to be even. Else, we're going to print out the number is odd. Now, we are creating a random number here, so we don't necessarily know what is going to be outputted. So we'll see what happens when we run our code. So we've got if num mod 2, we have equal 0, then print num is even, else if number isn't even, then the number has to be odd. So we'll run this a couple of times to see what happens here. So let's go ahead and click on play. And the first number that is created is 99. So 99 is odd. Let's try this again. See what different number appears here. And we've got 45 is odd. Okay, let's see if we can get an even number here. I'll try this again here. And we've got 71 is odd. Apparently we're always getting odd numbers. Try this again. And 69 is odd. This is very odd. I can't seem to get an even number. And I'm going to try it one more time. And 71 is odd. Although now I'm very curious if I can actually get an even number. This is very interesting. And finally, we get 66 is even. Now let's try one more time here. That was very interesting that I always kept getting odd numbers. Let's comment this out for a moment here. And rather than use math.random, let's say num is equal to 0. Let's see what Lewis says. If 0 is an odd or even number. And most places say that 0 is even. All right, let's take a look at another example. So let's create a variable named age and assign it your age. If you're 18 years or older, let's print out you can vote. Else we'll print out how much longer you have till you can vote. All right, so let's go ahead and comment out this code here. And we'll say print example 4, and we'll add some code up here. We've got example 4. And I'm going to say that I am only 13 years old. No, I'm going to say I'm 17 years old. And we'll say if age greater than or equal to 18, then I'm going to print out you can vote. Else we'll print you can vote in, and let's use our string concatenation here. 18 minus age. And we won't do anything fancy here. We'll just say years, like so. So let's try this out. And we've got, I'm 17, I can vote in 1 year. Let's try something slightly different. Let's see what happens when we say 19. Not 198, let's say 19. So 19 should say we can vote, just to make sure. All right, let's try our last example here. So we're going to buy something very expensive. So let's start with 10,000 Robux. And again, let's go shopping in the avatar shop. So again, let's go back to our code here. We'll comment out our previous code. Bring this up a little bit, and we'll say example 5, and we'll say print example 5. And we're going to start off with a lot of Robux. So we're going to say 10,000 there. And again, let's go ahead and continue buying things in the avatar shop. There are some quite expensive things in the avatar shop every now and then. So a goldbot is 13,000 Robux. And his real name is supposed to be Goldbot, but programmers are often off by one, which will come into play when we deal with loops a little bit later on in this course. So let's see if we can buy this item. So let's go back to our code here, and we've got local goldbots equals 13,000. It's very expensive. And we've got if Robux greater than or equal to goldbot, then print you bought a goldbot. And again, let's subtract how much Robux we have because we did buy that goldbot. Else we'll print not enough Robux. And let's add one more line of code here. Let's say you have Robux remaining, if that were possible. And let's test out some different values here. So let's go ahead and run our code. And we don't have enough Robux because the Robux does cost 13,000. But let's say we came into some Robux. And I'm going to add some Robux because let's say we just got an infusion of 5,000 Robux just because. Now let's look at the message here. And so we had 15,000 and now we just had enough. So now we have 2,000 remaining. All right, I hope that helps and I'll see you in the next video.